I had three objectives on this walk. They were to find the Haga, a hedged enclosure in the Saxon charter of Plush, soil number 347. Then Bruch Downey, which is Nettlecombe Tout. And then the wind Barrows, wind Berghes. The Saxon charter goes, well, the relevant parts go like this. Erist on Ruan Berghe, Thane on Starnway, Thane on Starnbrook, Thane on Radenway, Thane on Lelandwelle, Thane op on Hagen, Thane on an Huldhame, Thane on an Welle up on Bruchdowne, on Warode, then en on Windberges. It's all uphill. I've just passed, there's a crossroads, and going the other way is Cothays Lane, and the haze is preserving that word hor, haga, hedges. So it's the hedges of the cottage. I'm up on top of the ridge overlooking the Dorsetshire Gap. Now this ridge is called, well, the path on it is called the Wessex Ridgeway, and it seems to me this Wessex Ridgeway, which goes on for miles and miles, seems to spend more time down at the bottom of the hills rather than on top. I'm wondering whether it's some sort of bureaucratic leisure department idea of what an ancient trackway is. Now, pretty much any ridge you can think of has been used by people since prehistory. I think Britain is covered in a network of ridgeways that are quite ancient. I'm heading towards Nettlecombe Tout, Totian, to Peak in Old English. It's an Iron Age promontory fort. It's quite a good looking one as well. There is a pond here. If you look at the work that Paul Whitewick has done about hill forts and water, click here to go and have a look at that. You'll see that a lot of thought's been given to how a people that lived up in hill forts managed to keep themselves supplied with water. Now, I've observed several times ponds near Iron Age hill forts. I can't say that they are contemporary with each other, but there seems to be, if there's no correlation in time, there's certainly a correlation in space. I suspect that, again, like ridgeways, that people since prehistory have been ensuring that there is water at the top of hills. You might be able to see a cross dyke behind me, about 500 yards behind me. I've done about, nobody really knows what they are. I think it's customers and exercise in the Bronze and Iron Age, but anyway. I've gone about halfway now. I'm a little bit tired, but the rest of it should be downhill now. And 3/4 of what's left should be a road, so it should be a nice comfortable walk back to the car. I've achieved two of my objectives, Nettlecombe Tout and having a look at Melcombe Park. So just one more to do, find the wind Barrows. These two beauties, these two beautiful barrows, they are on the ridge, they're looking south, downwards. Perhaps they're looking down on their descendants, or their descendants are looking back up at them. And perhaps they're guarding a boundary of a land over there, or perhaps they're looking down on their old land that now belongs to their descendants down there. Who knows? But they seem to share a ditch, which is a very beautiful idea, that perhaps these two were friends or lovers or married, and they're called in the Saxon Charter of Plush the wind barrows, the wind Berghes, and that's more likely to be very early Middle English rather than late Old English. But that is the authentic voice of the past, and that name isn't on the OS map. It's there for us to put back on the map, and I think they deserve it. They must have been important. You know, they were in the Bronze Age, you know, up to perhaps 500,000 or 1 million people living in Britain. There would have been barrows everywhere. So it was important people, and it was that got buried like this. So it's a nascent form of individualism that in the Neolithic it was. We overplay this, but it is a piece of data that we should think about. In the Neolithic, it was a collective idea of aristocracy, and then you get individual burials like this afterwards. Now later on, other people are inserting, because this is a special place to be buried, people are inserting other burials. I don't know particularly here, but elsewhere, and even the Romans and the Anglo-Saxons are doing it later on. They're in the sense that you could have a huge Anglo-Saxon heathen burials around here, you know, like the whole field, and you wouldn't know it because these sort of things didn't make barrows. The Anglo-Saxons did make barrows, but you get cemeteries that are entirely flat, and in the middle of it, you can see this on Time Team. In the middle of it, there would be a Bronze Age barrow. They were cementing their ownership of the land. In a spiritual way, probably, saying, you know, this is our homeland. We are in death. We're going to place ourselves next to the old people that used to own this land. Place ourselves next to the symbol of landscape, and the great symbol of landscape in England, in Britain, is the round barrow.